All right, so this cake is going to have a lot of tiny little imperfection edits, but first I'm just doing some basic edits, fixing the directionality and the size of it, just changing some lighting and coloring stuff. You can zoom in and see our Lightroom edits. This tool right here, I'm using the brush to fix some overexposed areas of the white frosting, so I'm just applying a really localized fix to those pieces, which is a super useful tool. This is where I actually start jumping in and doing edits for tiny little imperfections. So I'm literally just using the healing brush tool, zoomed in so that you're making really tiny adjustments. You're not doing a big adjustment that'll look blurry and weird. It'll actually blend in really well if you do tiny little adjustments and just a ton of them. So it's very tedious. It took me about 15 minutes just on this one photo, so it's not for the faint of heart. As anybody who edits photos knows, it just takes a long time, and I'm still doing kind of basic stuff. There's definitely a lot more I could be doing, but really just zooming in, zooming out to see if it looks good once you zoom out again is a really good trick. Zooming back in, and then just anything that catches your eye is probably something that should just be fixed really quickly. Any tiny little dots on like a white surface, these little air bubbles in the cake, or just bits of frosting that got on the cake or anything like that. Fixing things on the cake board, but those tiny little, even just the color of the inside of the cake here was a little bit odd. All these little things on the side that just kind of, you don't notice them at first, but when they're all gone, it just looks so much smoother. Anything on the cake board, of course, little crumbs here and there, super easy to fix. I'm just using that healing brush tool. I don't use the clone brush for this. I use the healing brush because it just is a lot easier unless you really need to get something pure white. There we go, zooming back out and just seeing all those tiny little dots that I went in and fixed. A few more here on the bottom that I'm going to go in and fix. Always good idea to pull from another color or thing close by so it looks natural. And just keep zooming out, seeing if there's other things that you want to fix. Zoom back in, and then you can actually see the finished version and the original here.